back with comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So they eased restrictions today, and the plan was to get out there and do another fucking driving vlog, see what's going on out and about, but it fucking rained and it was a shitty day all day today. It's fucking cold for some reason. So the driving vlog is going to have to wait for another fucking day. I really can't wait to get back out there, just fucking out in the world. If this dragged on much longer, I would have been fucking struggling. The problem I foresee, though, is my wife's parents don't seem to be opening up. As India is slowly opening up, they aren't really keeping pace. I mean, it's been one day, but the signs are there. They don't seem to be as open-minded about going out as I am. And I'm afraid that's just too fucking bad, because as soon as it opens up properly, I am fucking out of this house. I want to go shopping, not for anything in particular. I just want to be at a fucking bazaar looking at shit. I want to fucking get into the restaurants. I want people coughing on me. I want them sneezing on me. I want them fucking handling my food without washing their hands. I am putting 100% faith in ivermectin, and so is the whole entire family. So if anyone gets it, it's on me. But I have faith. This is the experiment. I am the experiment. Because India's opening up, but by no means is there no COVID-19 anymore. There's still like 4,500 cases a day or something like that. But I am willing to get fucking in it. I need to be amongst it, and I can't be worried about COVID-19 every second of every day while I'm outside fucking mingling with people. I don't want to be taking wide berths around people so I don't get their disgusting germs. I don't want to be worried about handing some money over and like picking it up by the little corner and then sanitizing my hand. I just want to live a fucking normal little existence here. And that's what I'll be doing. But I need to get over that little mental hurdle, because even though I don't give a fuck about COVID-19, the amount of fucking shit that's going on here, you sort of walk past people and think everyone's contaminated. You think everyone's a germ pit. And they kind of are, but you don't want to be walking around the world as if they are. So I am the ivermectin experiment. If I don't get COVID-19, then don't worry about your double fucking blind tests. I am the gold standard. It'll actually be very interesting because there's about 15 of us who are on it. And if none of us get it, then fucking case closed. So I'm finally getting back into the world. I'll do the driving vlog tomorrow, so I'll put that up sometime this week. I'll just put it up on Patreon. Fuck YouTube. Maybe I'll chuck it up on YouTube in a couple of weeks or something like that. But for now, I'll just be putting it on Patreon. It's actually a big week this week. I've got a few things going, especially for the Patreon. So this week, I have an exclusive interview with Andrew Roberts. And when I say exclusive, I mean I am the only person, literally the only person in the entire world who actually wants to talk to him. I mean, his mum doesn't want to talk to him. None of his friends want to talk to him. He has been ostracized by pretty much everyone he knows. It's quite the feat. But I haven't spoken to him in a long time, so we're going to do a little podcast together tomorrow. And we'll go through the incident that happened with Andrew Roberts, why we had to kick him off my other podcast, The Oppression Chamber. That's the other thing. On Thursday, the band's getting back together. The boys from The Oppression Chamber, Izzy Ali, John Doerr, David Boyle. We're getting back together. We're doing an episode of The Oppression Chamber, which will just come out as a normal episode. That's not going on the Patreon. But the Andrew Roberts exclusive interview with Andrew Roberts will be on the Patreon. And the only reason I'm putting that on the Patreon is because I don't want other people to know I'm actually speaking to Andrew Roberts. I don't want his stank rubbing off on me, so it's best just to hide it somewhere. But yes, I am looking forward to getting out there and starting to do some new things. So jump on the Patreon. The links are in my social media bios, or just message me directly and I'll send you the link myself. But I'm not going to fucking send you any hearts or kisses or thank you until you actually do fucking sign up. So, anyway, let's move on to this week's Ask Boyle. I'm going to sing this cunt song this week. Send me a story, drop me a line, ask me a question, I'll try and ease your mind, 'cause it's Ask Boyle time. Ask Boyle time. I didn't even sing those lyrics right, but it was close enough. So this week's Ask Boyle comes from an old fucking friend of the podcast. Old fucking Toffer up there under whatever fucking tree he's living under. So this is the question Toff sent in. What are your views on pornography? For someone who gets addicted to pumpkin, I find it hard to believe that porn was never an issue. Well, Toff, you've come to the right place. Funnily enough, Toff, porn was never an issue for me. It never has been an issue for me. There's a few different reasons for that. Don't get me wrong either. I have beaten off with the best of them. That's also a good way to get over a hangover. Well, not get over it, but at least feel good for 10 seconds. But I just never got into porn. There's something I just don't like about it. I think it's the exploitation part of it. Any type of fucking exploitation, I just am repelled by it. Maybe repelled's a little bit of a strong word. It just never did anything for me. It never got its hooks into me. When I was younger, I used to have the magazines and all that sort of shit. They were good. I didn't mind the magazines. The magazines were fine. We used to have this magazine. It was called People in Picture or whatever the fuck it was. And it was sort of like softcore porn. You'd see some titties and a little bit of muff. But your center page was like your homegirls. Whores sending in pictures of themselves nude. Like uneven tits, hairy bushes, half-shaven bushes, faded butterfly tattoos next to their snatch. That sort of shit. Just real nitty-gritty fucking home taken on fucking disposable cameras and sent in to People in Picture magazine. I liked that. That was a bit of fun back in the day. But I just never got fully into porn. And that's not saying I haven't beat off to fucking porn. I've done that innumerable times. Don't worry about that. But it was never a fucking problem. And on the odd occasion where it may have started to become a problem, I would fucking pull it up straight away. I'd be like, did I just spend 4.5 hours jerking off? Why did I waste my whole fucking day on those 3 fucking seconds of pleasure? It just never seemed worth it to me. And I could see porn is a very fucking slippery slope. Because it's just like any other addiction. You fucking feel good the first few times, and then you start pushing the boundaries and take it a little bit further, a little bit further, a little bit further. Next thing you know, you're fucking watching some weird shit that you wish you're not fucking watching. I could see that path. There was this guy we went to uni with, and he was fucking addicted to porn. He couldn't get it up with his missus unless fucking hardcore porn was playing on the laptop in front of him. So he'd be banging his missus to the porn, but if the porn wasn't on, he'd be on a flop the whole time. It was a fucking problem for him. So all of that is one aspect of it. I really don't like the fucking exploitation part of it either. It's the same thing as going through like Thailand and shit like that. All the sex workers there. There's an exploitation element to the whole fucking thing that just always turned me off. Even the strippers and that, I could never get into the strippers. I just fucking never liked any of that shit for some reason. I think if I dug a little bit deeper into my psyche and I was really honest, which I'm going to be right now, is I really couldn't believe anyone would want to fuck someone besides me. That's it. That's the main thing. I couldn't believe these bitches weren't just waiting for me. I used to get pissed off at like girlfriends who had fucked anyone before me, which is all of them. Which is fucking all of them. I'd be like, well, you fucked this guy. And they'd be like, I didn't know you then. That was 8 years before I met you. And I'm like, well, yeah, you should have fucking sensed something. That's the truth. I really didn't want to admit to any of that. So join the fucking Patreon, cunts. You're getting more than you're fucking paid for. So what would that equal? My fake repelled at exploitation is really a cover for deep insecurity. Oh, God. I hate self-analysis. So that is one side of the fucking coin with the porn. The other reason I never really got hooked into it, I never really had an opportunity. I didn't get my first laptop until I was like 25 or 26 or 27 maybe. It was after university. I probably should have bought a laptop during university, but I wasn't attending classes, so who gives a fuck? So I never had Wi-Fi, I never had a laptop, and I didn't have a smartphone until 2016 when my son was born. So I never really had fucking access to porn either. And it's not like I was going to lug a collection of fucking DVDs around with me. I don't even think I had a DVD player for most of that time as well. So access was another barrier for me to the porn. And the main thing is I was a fucking wanker. I have a very fucking vivid imagination. Porn is a very weak substitute for the sick shit I can pull off in my own mind. Porn's like going down like 8 levels. And here's the other thing. With porn, what you're looking for is just one little fucking moment. Just one specific little thing. Some look or some fucking bullshit or some vulnerability or some fucking just whatever it is. It's just one little thing you're looking for. And you can spend like 5 hours looking for that specific thing. And most of the time you can't even fucking find it. So you end up jerking off to whatever's going, and then you're like, fuck, I wasted my time. That was shit. 5 hours later, it's a fucking waste of time. Whereas in your imagination, you can just imagine that little fucking moment. That's the best, and you can replay that moment over and over. You can do anything. So I just use my imagination, and it's not like I do it that much anyway. I've got better things to fucking do than that. I would not have jerked off to porn I can't even remember the last time I jerked off to porn, but it would be over 9 months ago. I haven't done it since I got to India. Can't remember the last time. It would have been fucking before my daughter was born or something. I honestly can't remember, so it's been a long time. So anyway, Toph, thanks for your question. I think we all got a little bit more than we bargained for there. Just a little shout out to my dad, my dad's wife, my auntie, my cousin, a few of my friends that listen. Just want to give you a little bit of a shout out, and I told you not to fucking listen to this podcast, you idiots. Anyway, that's it for tonight, and I'll see ya the fuck later.